in the bottom. So much better. Welcome to the top of it. This is the fantasy football show where we separate the winners from the pretenders. I am your host and moderator, LAV. I'm joined by my co-host, Big Banks. What's good with you?
Man, what's poppin', man? What's going on today? It look like the show kind of missing some people, man. What's going on the show today?
I don't know, Kinfo. I mean, shit. We outside.
Okay, well,
I'm,
we stay outside, man. Let's get this motherfucking shit. Let's get the
yeah,
show.
I don't know. I don't know what Swift at. I know. First and third was supposed to be joining us. I think they had something going on. I don't want to say it's because they both lost, but I mean, I know first. I talked to first and third. I ain't talked to Swift. So maybe they got something going on, the
Well,
team meetings or something like that.
let's just get to the top of it then.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get right into today's show. As you know, as with this show and all our other shows are always sponsored by the Top of It Sportsbook on Instagram. Go over there and tap in with them for all your gambling needs wherever you may be or find yourself. Top of a sportsbook on Instagram. We got the week 4 review. Let's go ahead and jump into some house cleaning real quick. We had Mo, Laugh, Swift, Banks, and Twin on the show all last week, and we picked games. And I went 3-6. Twin went 3-6. Banks and Mo went 4-5, and Swift was 5-4 for last week's game. So speaking of last week's game, let's go ahead and get into those games. We had the Texas Tycoons going against the Rule Breakers. Rule would win 151-123. It wasn't even really that close. Um, they were led in scoring by 33 points. The Rule Breakers was from Nico Collins. Tycoons has a lot going on right now. We also had the Supreme team going against Greedy. Greedy would get the win 151-129 over the Supreme team. Kenneth Walker, KW3, as I like to call him, Kenneth Walker the third, would return to the starting running back position for Team Greedy, and he would respond with a big 36-point game, essentially winning the game for Greedy over Supreme. We also had the Bayou Boys going against the Whole Whisper. It was 133-119. The Bayou Boys would get the win. 28 points for Mason. Big win for Bayou Boys. We had Swift's Dynasty going against Smoking Joe. It was a very close game. Smoking Joe would come out with the win. This came down to basically the kicker. If you look at the kicker stats, they had 6 extra points made, and they also had a tackle, a
Mhm.
key stuff tackle, which gave them a point. Big. What did you see in this game, Banks?
Well, I mean, that was a very close game right there. I mean, at the very end there, you didn't know who was going to pull it out. They were actually tied 134-134 for a while there. So it was teetering there with a few minutes left to go in that critical game. And when I seen that the kicker ended up being the one to pull it out for him, I mean, I was just fucked up, man. It blew me away, man. I mean, that was a great victory for Smoking Joe right there. You know, to take down an undefeated team.
Smoking Joe and Swift had bench burn. They had money on the bench. Smoking Joe started Alex Pierce over Michael Pittman. That was the difference between 1.9 and 17.3. And Swift had Wendell Robinson on the bench with an 18.1. That's not so hard, I don't know. Smoking Joe could have, had Michael Pittman in the game. It wouldn't even really been that close. But they came out with the thrilling win to knock out Swift. At one point, I thought Swift was gonna win the game, and they end up losing. in a heartbreaking fashion, but that'll be all right. Then we also had Team Twin going against the undefeated North Dallas. It was 161 to 142. North Dallas just keeps rolling. They just keep winning. Team Twin put up a really good game, and they really didn't get as much as they would have liked to have gotten from Josh Allen, which was surprising. And they had a zero point 0.8 at flex. Uh, North Dallas matched them with Pitts with a zero point 0. That is preposterous. Mud babies for sure. Would you? What's your opinion on this game?
Well, I've actually picked Twin to win this
We
game,
all, yeah,
and I was wrong on this one. Like you said, Josh Allen, man. I mean, the way that he came in, I mean, and dropped the under a dime. I mean, you hopefully you don't. That's something you don't want to see from your big dog, Josh. And
ever
for North to have a zero on the board and still run up, what was it, 161?
161. Yeah,
Man, I mean, damn. And he got a zero on the board. So just
a
to make
zero. Yeah,
anything from that, and you talking about 170 plus.
and a 7.5 from Cooper.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like he got some, what he got is some big heavy hitters, and his heavy hitters has been being heavy hitters every week for him. You know, we're gonna see, how long that keep lasting, going forward for him. But right now, I mean, he's easily the big dog right now.
I agree with you. And till somebody beats him, it looked like they were gonna be holding it down at the top for quite some time. But we'll see. This fantasy football shit is week to week. So we're gonna continue to monitor that and see how it plays out. We had first and third business going against Juice Simmons. It was a 140 to 129 win for Juice as they had won the third in a row, I believe. And that's the first loss for our first and third business. Juice got it done from a lot of different positions. He didn't have anything just outstanding. As I'm looking at this, I'm seeing that Addison was the leading scorer with 23 points. In first and third had three people with 20 some points, but that tight end, that's 0.1, man. That's crazy. And then Baum has come back down to earth. He got a 5. Gringo get chipped in with a 4. And 4 and up for defensive lineman, I ain't mad at But that 3-5, as Swift would say, 3-5 from Julian Love. He did get hurt. And in the special teams at kicker, that did it in for first and third. If you got any kind of production from those positions, listen, he was at one point he had went up. Gibbs had scored his second touchdown, and he had went up, and it was I think it was a couple of points difference, 2-3 points, but just and had too much going. He had Spears, he had too much going. What did you think about this matchup? This is it an upset? Would you call it an upset?
Well, I think that first and third have been teetering uh, on, as a lot of people would say, on the health side since the beginning of the season. But uh, I think this week it kind of reared its ugly head this week. So with what Juice did, I think that his team, they did enough to get the victory. It was still a close game in the end. It wasn't. It doesn't like it was a runaway.
No,
So
it wasn't decided till late.
yeah, so it was still a close game, So, so technically, like I say, Juice team did enough, to get the victory, But you have to give them the credit in this, on this game that they was able to pull it off because uh, Jaden Daniels is still being, who he has been since he came in the league, this year. So, and he's gonna clear
Roy,
he's gonna
he's
clear
he's
he's
Roy.
he's gonna clearly win Rookie of the Year, easily. So I
He's the
mean,
Roy.
yeah, he is. So I mean, I think that first and third they're gonna lick their wounds, and they're gonna go into next week, and they're gonna try to bounce back. But this game, this wasn't their day. They finally took that L that they were avoiding, but Juice got the victory, and he's won three in a row now, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he lost his first game.
Yeah. So
I would have to go back and look to
he's
be
on
sure.
a pretty good run right now, So, the he took down the number two team in the whole league, So you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, they lost to the champ week one. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the first and third, they get their first loss in this matchup. As you say, they've been teeting tottering. And they have a big matchup next week. We'll see how they respond. Speaking of the champ, it was a chosen one going against Cash, and Cash coming off a 215-point game would continue to roll 151 to 143 over the chosen one. Chosen one did get it a little, kept it competitive, kind of late. I won't say too late in that, it was kind of competitive. They were still leading well after the early games. Let me just say it like that. But
mm,
Casual just had too much firepower. They had too many players um, left up, and Chuba had a great game with 25.8. Uh, I apologize to Jonathan. My bad. I said that you had got drafted too high. I was one of many who thought that you wasn't ready to be that player again, and that's all you have done this year has been that player consistently. And with that being said, I mean Cash got the win. They knocked off the champ. Champ is reeling. They won the first game. They haven't tasted the victory. Uh, they don't even know what a victory looked like since the first week. What do you have? What do you think about this? What's going on with the chosen one and this match? I mean, more importantly, this matchup. But I'm
well,
looking at how he lost, and I'm just like, it's not like he had that horrible of offense performance. Just
no,
didn't have enough.
he didn't have a horrible outing. His team, they came to give a fighting Irish Notre Dame fighting effort. They came to play. They had they gave that championship, heart, as they would say, but it just wasn't enough. They just couldn't get it done in the end with, like you say, all the firepower, the casual, uh, they mowed, they mowed them down, So early on, it looks like that Chosen was going to come out of nowhere, on the Thursday night game with what CD did with his 20 plus, and then you had Donald. You're not expecting for him to damn near get a 15. So
Yeah.
you thinking that, okay, he had Donald to overperform, he had CD to overperform, so he's on
Whoa.
track, you know. But at the end, uh,
You
casual.
don't think CD just kind of might be rounded into form? Is that what you said?
No, no, no. I
Oh, okay.
said that CD he wasn't projected to do a 25. I think CD did a 25. Is what I'm saying.
But yeah,
So
he capable though.
so
I
so
wouldn't say overperform.
so 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 I bet he was like probably projected to do maybe an 18, 19 at max. This nigga did
Yeah, that ain't far from that though. And if you
it's
saying that,
not far. 7 points is, come on, man. 7 points is not far. What are you
it's
talking?
CD Lamb, folks.
What are you? 7 points? Come on, man. You have to be bugging. You at
Man,
7
if you projected to do
points.
19, it ain't that far fit. I don't see it that far away for him to get 6 more points.
That's a lot of more points, man. Are you kidding me? If they projected you to do 19, if you want to use that as the barometer, then you're saying that 6 more points is more than a fourth of the points.
He projected to get 21 points. I could I would think that maybe he was projected to get 19 last week.
What was he projected
I said he projected to get 21 this week. So
this
I
week?
would say that he was probably around 19, 18, 19 last week.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this right here. If you go 6 7 points over what your projection is, that's super booming right there because 6 or 7 points. If most people think about it like this, if most people is projected to do like I say, a good day is a 15. So if you 6 or 7 points, you damn near half of what a nigga good day is. And that's on top of what you are already doing. So
Oh, well,
that's
I'm not speaking on nobody that around 15. I'm talking about CD Lamb. He well within range of getting to 25. That's what all I'm saying. What no matter what they project him.
I'm saying I'm saying if I already told you at the beginning of the year they were gonna feed the nigga. If you feed the nigga, yeah, he gonna get that shit. What I'm talking about is this right here though. I'm saying if you go 6 or 7 points over what you projected, then that's a high percentage. You can be scheduled to do 22 points. If you do 29, like that's a big motherfucking percentage over the points that what you was projected to score. You talking about if you scheduled to score 21 projected and you do 28. I mean you did a third of the points that you was projected to do over. Come on, man. A
I'm
third?
just talking about with CD. It's not that far fetched. That's all I'm saying.
I'm
I think you're getting too deep with. But the fact of the matter is, we get back on subject. Cash won the game over Chosen,
I mean, he did. He did. He put it out.
and Chosen one is probably in a must-win situation going forward. Speaking of must-win situations going forward, you was not in a must-win situation, but you was in a crucial game. You came up short, almost 20 points, 18 points, 128 to 146. DC would get the win. Uh, this was a matchup of whoever won would be 2-2, and whoever lost it would be 1-3. And this is a division matchup. He would come out on top. I'm looking at his roster. He had a couple of 20s. He had a three. He had 3 20 points. Uh, you didn't. You only had one. You had work on the bench though. You had some bench burn. You would have got the one with the win with Fields on the game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, 10. So that'd have been a 28. I mean a 21. Yeah, that'll put you on top. 149. What happened though? Why were you so? I think you started Fields this week, but we'll get into that later. Why were you so hesitant to start Fields against one of the worst defenses in the league?
Well, I mean,
Is it
Connor,
just out of loyalty?
Connor had a bad game in the week before. So, and Connor actually had one too. So it was Kyler and Connor both having a bad game the week
And
pre.
Brees.
So not Brees didn't have a bad game. He had a bad game this season until this week. But I'm
Oh, that's
saying
what I'm talking about. Oh, you
I'm,
talking about last week?
I'm
Okay,
talking
okay.
no, you asked me what's going on with Colin and why I didn't like put Fields in the game. I'm saying the reason why I didn't put Fields in the game is because I thought since they both had bad games last week, they were
That
gonna
they'll
rally
bounce
together.
back.
and bounce back and have a great game. So that's why I kept him in. But shit, shit to not to take away with what I thought that was gonna happen because I was just betrayed. Fucking, I mean, I'm using that word betrayed by Brees Hall this week with a 5.3. I mean, now this guy's
Not a
scheduled.
3-5, but a 5-3.
He's scheduled to go over 20, well over 20, and he come in with a 5.3, and then
That
uh,
nigga had 4 yards. What the fuck?
Kyler Murray, he decided to not want to come and help at all today neither. So I mean, like these are people that, like, when I made a trade early in the season, I was basing that from these three players, I was going to get consistency. Kyler Murray, Brees Hall, James Conner. And Kyler Murray has been the worst of the bunch.
If
So
Brees Hall would have gave you average, you'd have won.
he
You probably would have won.
it,
Yeah.
I look. What I needed was them two just to play, just how they normally people would.
25. If he gave it 25, yeah, you could have won.
He ain't even got to get. I'm saying just give me a 20 from Brees. I'm just saying just a 20, and give me an 18 from Colin. I win the game. I mean, it's that like it's that simple. I win the game. I mean, but
Okay, so going forward, are you gonna make any changes in the lineup, or
oh,
how you plan to approach?
Kyler Murray has been
Uh,
this week for Justin Fields. Justin Fields will be starting this week,
that's breaking news.
and
It's interesting to see how that's gonna work out.
Uh, I, I mean, it is, and I ain't saying that he's the man going forward, but he's playing Cowboys defense this week that has D Law out, that has Micah out. So I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with the way Justin can get around the field. Uh, so I think that he's going to have a big game in Texas, in Arlington Stadium, AT
We'll
Stadium.
we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Hopefully, it's not an overreaction, a knee jerk reaction or a quick reaction to a couple of bad moments.
A
But we
couple,
will be we
moments or
will be keeping
bad games.
huh
Couple of bad moments or a couple of bad games.
moments, games. How you look at it? So that's
Oh,
I mean the same. I mean the same thing because I mean I
it's,
look at it all as moments, but
it's,
games.
I can
Let's.
moments. I can't deal with games.
Mm. Well, the moment is a game in my eyes. That you're out there for that moment. You're supposed to do what you need to do, or if you don't, then sometimes it's consequences. Just depends on how the rest of the team um, come to play. Speaking of the rest of the team coming to play, let's go ahead and get into this last matchup where we had Draper for the paper going against Team LAV. Now Draper was coming in 0-3, and Team LAV was 2-1. Team LAV would get the win, 131-122. Or should I say King Henry would get the win? I mean, he put the whole team on his back with 43 big points. Looking at this game, I was trailing all morning. My team wasn't putting up any points. I didn't start Baker. I started Cadillac. Some niggas call him Camaro. I even heard him call the Camry. Maybe cut Dog Williams. I don't know. But he ain't been performing for me. He had a good game last week, so I thought I'd go with him against the 30th ranked pass defense, and it didn't matter. He ain't ready, and Baker had 28 points. So early in the game, I wasn't really feeling it too good. I wasn't feeling too good. I wasn't in a good mood. We was really unhappy. But I knew I had a horse in the stable. I had a Clydesdale But this just wasn't a regular Clydesdale. This was, like one of the finest race horses mixed with a Clydesdale. And from the moment that the game started, I knew something was different about Henry this game. And he went off for 43, like I said, 43.5, and really put the game out of reach. Going into the last game, I had two players. I had a kicker, and I had the points Henry gave me. That was it, going against Draper. And he had put up enough to win. He was dynamic. I just want to go ahead and, give it up to him because, he's seen the rest of his team, was struggling in the points department, and he decided to take it within himself and, do it, equivalent to like a Jordan performance, so, 43 points, and yeah, and that's all it took. Draper didn't have enough. He hasn't been able to, finish late in games. I've noticed one of the flaws of his team is when the pressure's on and it's time to make a game winning play. He hasn't been able to do so. Our defense was able to hold them off. They got, within range, but just didn't have enough to get it done. And we, I challenged my team, and they responded. And we're just working. Week after week we're working, and we're trying to get this thing what we talked about going in the off season and preseason, and we're just putting it in the work. It was a wonderful win. All the wins are great. This is the best win we've had up until today, and um, it was kind of like, I ain't gonna even lie. There's history between these two franchises. We used to play twice a year. We had a loss to them last year. We had a loss to them the year before, and we wanted to get some resemblance of revenge. Henry has been there each and every time, and he took it personal. And I just wanted to go, again, salute Henry. And it was a wonderful game. Shout out to Draper. Great game. He got heart. What you seen? What did you think about this matchup, Kivo?
Oh my gosh, I just love it. He said he got hard.
Fighting
that is
spirit.
that is hilarious.
They
I
have
mean,
a fighting spirit.
that is hilarious. But let me tell you, I actually picked against you to
I
win this.
know. Everybody picked against us. We ain't forgot. It was us against the world.
You know,
Carry on.
I pull this one out. I did, and early on, it was one of those games where it looked like, that he might have that fighting chance to actually do this. And then you saw what Henry did, and once once you saw what Henry did, uh, you knew that like it wasn't going to be an opportunity for him to win this week. That had been dashed by one person alone. With all of the hard work that was done by everybody else on both teams, Henry said, "Okay, well, let me just put it all that to bed, and it's time for the kids to go to sleep." And that's what happened that game. Henry with that 40 plus ball. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, that when a team gets that kind of firepower going on, man, it's hard to stop them, man. It's hard to not give them the victory that week. And Team LAV came out on top of the mountain against Team Drake. You know what I'm saying? This week, I mean, it was a great game, and I was trying to think that I could possibly give even Drake a chance with DK playing on Monday. I was like, man, DK would have to go crazy and put his own 40 ball up, but it wasn't happening. It
It
just wasn't.
wasn't to be. We came with the smoke. We left it smoking when we left. It was smoking when we came onto the field, and we left it even smokier after all the smoke had cleared. It was more smoke. Uh, it wasn't really, listen, we had a very we made a lot of mistakes in this game. If it were, that's why I'm so happy to have Henry, to have kept Henry, as my keeper. He showed that he is a wonderful player in this league, a Hall of Famer. Everyone knows that. But we made a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of poor coaching. We left a lot of bench burn. So we got to clean this up. But we got the win, and that's all that matters in this league. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. Okay, so that's all I gains for this week. Sorry we got a little bit over with it, but we really love this shit.
Top is so much better than the bottom. So much better.